beam is inoperative. Please switch to broadband. Particle beam is inoperative. Your receiver must be dysfunctional. Please respond. 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 Please respond.
Maybe it's time, maybe it's time, don't give in. Maybe it's time, maybe it's time we will win. Fall in love, find yourself. Fall in love, free yourself, free yourself.
Hey everyone, how you doing? It's that time. Oh man, barely made it. Um, uh, yeah, I had some technical difficulties earlier this afternoon, and I had to kind of go through them. It happens. It happens every time that I basically do some recording or I'm doing something in the studio that's not related to the stream because I have to change all the settings and everything to because recording is different. It's a different settings for all of my gear, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I was doing some recording this week and some mix changes and trying out a few things. And I guess I screwed up the settings a little bit, but it's fixed. So, how are you all? By the way, there's a huge fog that has rolled in starting in the late afternoon. It's like so bad that if I were a betting man, and I'm not, but if I were a betting man that also happened to have the conspiracy tinfoil hat, I would say that the powers that be made it difficult for anyone to photograph Three Eye Atlas, which is today approaching its closest point. Ooh. But what's funny is that I guess this weather pattern has been. It's strange because usually when it comes to weather, if it's foggy over here, it's going to be very sunny over here. If it's rainy over here, it's going to be sunny over there. And it feels like everyone that's got a telescope and wants to photograph something today has had weather problems all over the place. So if the stream goes to hell in a handbasket, you can blame it on the fog because everything seems to be working perfect here, but one never knows. But hi to everyone that's out there. I'm going to say hi to everyone that I can see before the chat goes crazy. I'm going to try to start from oh boy, that's like, yeah, almost impossible now. But Eric Esparza's in the house, Jake, Walter, Alfonso, Kevin, NOJVW on Twitch, which is nice. Matthew, Eric E, Wendy Lalo from Colombia, Fabian Star on YouTube. Whoa, it's going. JPK Knights. Hey, by the way, this is for Wendy and JP. I have your 2 requests from last week cataloged. They will be played this week. So just letting you know that we're going to do that. So hi. So the first part of all this, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do more with the whatever this is. So I got a little creative today. So things could go really bad. So just letting you know, I'm giving you the warning now because it's going to be like weird. So it's going to be mostly remixes and oddities, but some stuff from the latest record, which, by the way, first song I played tonight was A Fall in Time, and that is actually from the latest album, Other Verses, but you can only get that track if you have the CD. It does not show up on... Wait, does it show up on Bandcamp? I could be lying. Am I lying? Hold on. Now I'm like... See, I forget what's on what on my own stuff, so that should show you where my brain's at right now. I could swear it's not on there. Yeah, it's not. It's on the you get it as part of the download, but you're not going to get it as you have to have the CD to actually have that track. And actually there's 2 tracks that are unique to the CD. But I do have some good news, although some people are going to get mad at me. I know some people are going to get mad. But come uh, January 1st, CDs will start shipping with the books, because I've gotten too many complaints where people are like, I want the CD, but I also want the book. You should do a special and blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to do something where you can get both and grab a discount for having both. And then that way, but from now on, all books will come with CD. So no matter what book I release, it'll come with a CD. That's the way it's going to be. So it's just saying, it's just, yeah, I got too many, I was getting too many complaints. Where people were like, I didn't know the CD had extra stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's why you're supposed to have, different things, But so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about different things, actually. There was two things on my mind, and I thought that they couldn't really correlate, and maybe they won't. But who knows? Maybe they will. First off, it's going to be about 3i Atlas. And obviously, we'll get into the news stuff because I have news things to tell you about. Not politics stuff. That's boring. No, I'm talking about news, like Abox news, as opposed to everything else that's like makes us feel miserable. So yeah, not that. Although some of the news this week wasn't pleasant. But I digressed. No, I'm kidding. Everything is fine, actually. I feel good. I feel like I'm on a roll again to get things moving. And I've been feeling like writing, which is a good thing. And I've been working really hard on my Patreon to get that going. And we'll talk about that too. Which is actually already making me happy that I did it, because I see how I can use it in a way that I had not thought of before. So I'll tell you about that too, because that's going to be it's going to get really interesting on the Patreon side. Although right now it's sort of functioning as a pseudo evidentiary place, but it won't stay that way come January. I have a lot of plans for it. So are you talking about this? I don't know. Someone said something. I don't know. Oh, is that my little cube going in? Is that making you guys crazy? So, all right. Let's play a song. So I'm going to play one of the requests from last week, which I kind of messed up. So, sorry, I'm going to get rid of all the things I already played because I don't want to have to, make mistakes. So this one's for JP. This is Space Age Blues, which of course is sort of apropos if you think about it. But yeah, Space Age Blues. We'll put the visuals on. And, ooh, is that 3i Atlas?
Found a way to speak against the opposition. Yet my brain feels the same. I'm wasting time while they're wrapped in flames. All I have to give is my self-expression, pressed on the back of my expectation of my goal in my soul. I gotta have a moment to sense this soul. Can't see nowhere, blind and fast. Look out, kid, 'cause life don't last. Think you got a line on something new. All you really get on the Space Age Blues. Don't have the motivation for techno innovations. I have the Space Age Blues. My girl is gone.
but I feel so strong. Never had a doubt we would end all wrongs. Streets are filled with angry suckers trying to pull a dime from their empty pockets. Meanwhile, halfway across the world, some poor kid gets shot down cold.
By and large, it's just old news.
'Cause everybody's got the space age blues.
Down on the border visions, for techno inhibitions, I have the space age blues. My girl is gone and my old man got stolen someday. I have the space age blues.
Ooh, Space Age Blues. You know what's funny? Yeah, that was actually the most Pop-Tart I ever got. It's like, I think we were trying. We were trying. But anyway, yeah, so Space Age Blues, which, by the way, was. I'll tell you a funny story about the song, though. Yes, Fabian, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. I agree with that statement, Fabian. I've got to keep some bit of mystery about myself. So, but anyway, back to Space Age Blues. So Space Age Blues was funny because it was literally, it says my van got stolen. My van really had gotten stolen on a Sunday. I had woken up and I'd gone outside and the van was gone. And it was funny because I was in the middle of like working out that song and I literally decided to, yeah, what the hell, I'll put that lyric in there too. I'll throw that in there. So a lot of the things in that song are very factual, which is funny. But yeah, my van had gotten stolen. And so I thought that was funny. And I thought that would be like, so anti-pop to do, which is funny now thinking about it, because it actually sounds more pop to me now, but it is what it is. Hey, Callum McGowan's in the house. DJ Callum McGowan. Nice. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Rafa's in the house. Nice. Jose's in the house now. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for being here. I know I didn't know if I was going to do a stream because I kept thinking that today everybody was going to go shopping and whatnot. So I was like, nobody's going to show up. And then it is what it is. So before I get into the whole, like 3i Atlas stuff, which, inevitably we will. But, right? Nowadays your van could just drive off on its own. You're right. Oh, sorry. Been having a scratchy throat. I think that's related to the fog. And I'm being really honest about that. I think it's related to the fog because it comes right off the shore. And every morning I feel like it's like, ugh. But I'm not coming down with anything, but it's just scratchy. So I feel like I have to drink to, like clear it. But it's just tea today. But anyway. Oh, Steve says, Claude, I just saw a post today that Chain Reaction is closing for good. Ah. It played a part in Abox history during the Electrodelic years. I know there are more than a few videos in your collection from that venue. Darn it, man. Wow. Not that I can play them now, mind you, but yeah, I know I have a few. Shoot, man. That sucks. I was thinking about, what's funny about that, Steve? I was thinking about that venue today, and I was talking about that venue a few days ago. Darn it. Another venue. Well, that just goes that goes with a different thing that I was talking about a few weeks back, which I was like saying, I'm telling you, the best way to support the artist is to go to shows, because if you don't go to shows, the venues will all close, and then we're going to be stuck with nothing but AI robot music on repeat and being used for commercials, because nobody's going to care or have integrity about selling their songs for, selling drugs and whatnot. So it's just going to be, so you gotta support the local venues, man, and go see shows. That sucks. Well, that's bad news. Nice, Steve. Way to go. So anyway, so yeah, the first thing, let's get into the news segment parts. So yeah, I've been working on my Patreon thing and trying to get it working, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. And the first thing I did, I'm going to show you what I did, because it's actually part of the NFT release for today. And yes, I'll bring that up and show it because I can. But no, in all honesty, here, let me pull that up because it's actually very interesting. If you haven't been on my Patreon yet, but at the moment, I'm using it more for like evidentiary stuff. Evidentiary, which is, of course, I don't know if you saw it, but I had posted the Peace Journal entries. So that's basically all of my journals with all the lyrics to the songs and a little bit about each song. Not giving away the song, but at least when it was written and, what journal it appears in. So that was fun. And then yesterday, I focused on the damaged piece painting, which, I don't know if you guys know this, but I was able to get it back in 2025, but it is severely damaged. It's got water damage. On the back, it's got a lot of mold damage. I cleaned it up, and it's, it's showing its scars, obviously, and I think that's awesome in a weird way and on its own, but the physical version of it will never be the same. And yes, of course, that does make me sad. Oops, wrong camera. Way to go there, Claude. But yeah, it does make me sad, but the thing is that that gave me an idea for where I'm going to take the Patreon section, because what I really like is that it's a good place to put all the archival material in one place. I'd thought about, of course, doing this with the website, but that's like a lot of work because then I have to code it, and I didn't want to have to code a new page every single time I do something. And yes, I could do the WordPress thing and then do entries, but harder to track and no way for anyone to support it. So I thought the Patreon was the right thing to do. So what I did, sorry, let me know if I'm talking too much. But anyway, so one of the things I did is I'm going to be archiving like things that I normally wouldn't release, and or maybe they're more unrefined things. Like, in other words, if I master a tape, I'll probably post the unmastered version on my Patreon. But these are some things that I found that I thought you guys might find interesting. So I was having to dig through boxes to go through, all of this discovery crap. And I found something interesting. So let me show you what I found. Let me show you. So on your screen, you're seeing like two of the earliest Anything Box demos, which are, pretty cool that I have those. And I thought this particular one on the right is funny. If you look at that as a set, it's pretty interesting that for early 1989, Sum of Worth, the latest album, and Peace are represented. And yeah, you're looking at a reel-to-reel that was our live tracks, which it has its own. And by the way, I haven't heard it, that particular reel. I'm hoping that tape is intact. I won't know if it is until I actually play it, but I'm going to pray and hope it is, because I would love to have those to hear what they sound like. And that's an example of something that I would never release because, there's no point. So if I find those and I transfer them, they would wind up back, on my Patreon. And that's another reason to have it. So it's, so in a weird way, the lawsuit has allowed me to go back and dig through really old things and find a lot of cool stuff. And yes, thank you for bringing that up, Peter, on YouTube. So that was the other thing. So, and that we're going to get into that segment really soon. Because it's going to go into our 3i Atlas thing. We'll exit the earth soon, and then we'll be talking about that stuff too. But yes, I have that link, I was on a podcast last week and it was fun. And I've got a link to that so you can watch it and then, see how crazy I really am. Because if you think I was crazy on this thing, whew, you have no idea. You have no idea how crazy I am. Oh, sorry. Trying to fix my seat. But no, don't link it yet. Okay. Oh, well. Too late. But yes, you could start. You could. The link is there. So I will find it and then I will. Wait, what happened to it? I thought I had it. Uh-oh. Well, that's good that you did because I don't have it. But anyway, let's do the other requests from last week. This is All in Your Head because it's all in your head. It's all in your head. All in Your Head for Wendy. And yeah.
It's all in your head. It's all in your head. It's all in your head.
That was funny. I went to go unmute the mic and then I realized, oh, it was on the whole time. Thank you. Also, yes. Nice. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you for suggesting that one, Wendy. That was a good choice. Oh, thank you. Fabian says, I love this entire album. Thank you. Thank you for that, actually. I'm very grateful. We're going to talk about that stuff too. Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Made my night. So, yeah. I was on a podcast, and it's funny because I went to go do this earlier and it didn't work. So let me see if I can do this without like messing things up. Maybe, just maybe I can pull it off. We'll see. Terrible tonight. Come on then, Claude. So I was on the Soul of the Unexplained, which is this channel right here. This one. And yeah, you can see, I'm pretty sure you can figure out which podcast I was on or what episode I was on. But yeah, Soul of the Unexplained. And we talked about frequency tests, which is funny because I have a song by that name. But yes, we were talking about frequency tests that I had made, and all manner of strange stuff. But it also revolved around 3i Atlas and, what I was postulating about, 3i Atlas. So the way we're going to talk about it tonight, because I obviously, it's not like this goes on forever. So I have to kind of be me. I have to think about like how to formulate everything here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about 3i Atlas for those that don't know too much about it. I'm going to give you my top 8 things that make it interesting. Not necessarily just the anomalies, but just what makes it interesting. Because I still have an article that I'm still working on because it changes as time goes by, and I haven't had the time to like really delve with the formulas too much. So we're not going to do that part tonight, but what I'm going to do is just give you the quick overview. So if someone asks you, what is that thing? What is he talking about? You will have a nice little framework of why this is such an interesting thing. So the first one should be the most obvious, but 3i Atlas was discovered on July 1st, 2025 by the Atlas telescope in Chile, making it the third confirmed interstellar object after Oumuamua and Borisov. Remember that I talked about Oumuamua on this very thing? Remember? I had a whole episode on Oumuamua, so I'm going to go find that one, link it. But anyway, it got identified pretty fast, and the precise timing and location was suggesting from the beginning that it could be something of artificial origin or from a place very difficult. And it could be said, and I could say this, it doesn't mean that it's true, but I could say this. It could also mean that precise timing and location could also suggest that it was artificial in origin because it arrives at a point of heightened human space observation, allowing for data collection and basically taking advantage of Earth's technological capabilities, i.e., if we were going to try to contact something, this would have been the one to try to ping. Although some people would disagree with me on that one. So, you know, but there's something interesting about it that a lot of people don't talk about. And so I'm going to like go into like strange areas, and I hope you could bear with me when I do this. But in speaking of this milestone discovery, yeah, there's some people that are out there now that are saying, well, it's only because only now we've been able to see these objects, so it's the third one only because we can now see them, but they have obviously been coming here for a long time, and there's been comments of all different types that we just have never detected from outside the system. I would sort of agree with that statement and say that that's true, but there's never been one like this. Um, and that's where things get really, really interesting with this thing. Things are not always what they seem. And so the thing that people keep saying is that, oh, it comes from way out in the solar system, but it was discovered when it was already in our solar system. So what that really means, and no one's going to say this because then they're going to sound like crazy people. So I don't mind sounding like a crazy person. So I'm going to tell you what I think. That's assuming that it came from deep, deep space. But if it popped in, then it just showed up where it showed up. So there's a difference there. If we had been tracking it, let's say for 5-6 years, then we could really pinpoint its trajectory. Now we can only draw a line from here to there and say, well, this is where it came in, and what the heck just happened? Oops. I guess it's showing up. So that's nice. So, we could say that it came from way out there on a straight trajectory, but in all honesty, it could have just popped in, and we really wouldn't know. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know if it just popped in, because people don't like to talk about things like, scientists aren't going to be talking about wormholes and folds in space or interdimensional doorways. They're not going to want to talk about things like this because in their world, such things don't exist. Even though in their world, they definitely study those things, but they won't openly say that. And I say this because when I was on the podcast, one of the reasons that I started to become very interested in all this stuff was that I had heard, and this is more than once, of NASA scientists who say that on the side, they practice, mystical things, or for lack of a better word, they get into very esoteric teachings and do magic experiments and strange things like that. And when asked, they said, well, you can't have a scientific mind to come up with new ideas and things without delving into the unknown and mystical things. So that means they do delve. So when someone brings up something like interdimensional travel, they may scoff at it, right? They may scoff at it in public, but behind closed doors, ooh, wow. I'm like, sorry, I'm trying to like, So a different view says, I personally, oh, sorry. Sometimes it scrolls so fast that I can't read it. Ah, come on. I'm trying. Ah, where did it go? I was reading it and I lost it. Sorry. Let me see if I can go back. Oh, wow. Sorry. So, Randall, you're stuck in the airport. Oh, nice. That's not. Wow. So yeah, there's a lot of delays, huh? It could be the wind and the fog. I'm telling you, man. The whole thing is like, it's just. See, we're having all this weird, a different view says, does everyone know that the Hadron Collider is really an interdimensional portal or a key to opening a portal? It actually is both, because they do play around with, pushing particles back and forth. So anyway, that's a whole different set of rules. But the point is, the first thing I wanted to bring up about the comet is, I'm gonna call it the comet, but I don't believe it's a comet. I'll tell you what I think it is as we go along. And yes, I agree with Fabian too. What many secrets lie under the earth yet to be discovered? Absolutely. Ooh, I'll have to find that guy. There's a guy with like a LiDAR, like a whole LiDAR array that is now focusing that stuff on the United States. And he's finding like all these hidden structures within the United States. And I think a lot of them are out by, the Southwest US. So Grand Canyon, that kind of area. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. Wow, Randall says my son was just showing me a Tic Tac UAP on his phone. Yeah, it's not like I haven't had experiences, but 3i Atlas is a very different animal. So anyway, I try to keep it to 7 minutes every time I talk. But so, okay, next one up. Oh, this one's gonna be funny. I think this one will be funny. I do. So this is a remix of Heaven is a Lonely Place in Time. This one is from DJ Trip. This is called the Midnight Mix. So I'm going to play that, and then when I come back, we'll go into the second and possibly the third interesting things about 3i Atlas. And I'll turn on the drone cam for this. Here you go, my lovely people. nice. That was Heaven is a Lonely Place in Time, DJ Tripp's Midnight Mix. And I don't think I played that one before. I don't think I have. So I'll give you the quick skinny on that stuff. So a couple of things that I'm playing tonight are sort of remasters because I've been playing with a new set of cans. And if you don't know what cans are, it means headphones. It's not these that I'm wearing, but because they're ridiculously big. And I've been wanting to take those with me on the road so that I could do some remastering work while I'm on the road. And so I've been doing some calibration testing. And so I was like going through remixes and things. And I was like, oh, this will be great for the stream tonight. And there was a few that I don't think I've played before. So if you think that one was odd, wait till you hear the next one. Because I have another one, but different song, of course. But so Kimberly Brown says, Claude, because of these discussions, I've been led to expand my horizons elsewhere as well. Some of these have led to podcasters such as Danny Jones for entertainment value on such subjects. But there's this one that I came across recently with a guy named Amon Hillman. I may have seen that one, and how he interprets the Bible through Greek, and how all of his interstellar stuff is interwound. What a trip! Bizarre but interesting. So, thank you for that one, and I'm sticking to the questions pertinent, but there's one question that was asked that I thought was kind of cool, so I'm gonna just answer the question because I like when people ask me questions that are a little bit off kilter. So, where was it? Oh, different view says, did you take piano lessons when first playing, or did you just figure out music on your own? I actually so this is a weird story because most people don't know this about me, but I actually started off loathing music. Isn't that weird? It's true. It's absolutely true. My parents tried to get me to go and take guitar lessons, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I think I had 3 and I was done. And the guitar literally sat in a corner. And it wasn't until a really crazy event in my life happened, which I'm not going to tell tonight. We'll save that for another one. But let's just say I had a mystical experience, and I'm not lying about that. It was. And a very physical experience, actually. And when I got out of that experience, the guitar became my best friend, suddenly, and quite suddenly. And that's also when all my drawings that I was doing back then took a turn, and they went in a different direction. And I never went back to the other way of drawing. So everything that was creative in my life changed from this one experience. Yeah, Changeling Claude came back. You know that you're not so far off from that there. But yeah, some people would, want to get their hands on me for that. Actually, I have to tell you, well, you know what? One day I'm going to tell the whole bit of it, but so I just realized something that I never thought of before. So I'm going to get it out of my head, and then someone over there, one of you guys, can remind me about this, and then I will flesh it all together. But I have to get it out of my head so that if I forget about it, it doesn't just leave. So here's an interesting thought. So here's the skinny. I'll tell you the short version. I drowned. And I drowned in a lake. And when I came back, I was different. I had seen something. And because of what I'd seen, I came back, still a kid, but I came back as a very serious kid. And so when I came back, the guitar was something that I picked up, And then my drawings to me looked very immature, like whatever it was I was drawing at the time. And I think it was stupid things like, things that you would draw as a kid growing up in the 70s, like the Germans are on one side and the Americans are on the other, and you draw the tanks shooting stuff at each other, and explosions and cars and airplanes and jets, that kind of stuff. But then when I came back, my drawings turned into eggs with trees growing out of them and, weird stuff. And then I discovered many things simultaneously, because that's when I discovered surrealism. That's when I discovered electronics. That's when I got my first, started to get into like different aspects of music at a very, very young age. But I don't want to forget this, because it was something that one of you typed made it just pop into my head. And this is just going to show you how crazy I am, but it's okay. So I remember my dad having to take us to, he had to have some sort of like physical exam for his job, but for whatever reason, for the insurance purposes, all of us had to go in. And it was shortly, I want to say that it was shortly before or after the event. I'm going to have to piece that one together. But what happened was, when they took me to this hospital and we were, all supposed to get our things, things checked out, which is, they do this, what's your heart rate, blood sample, all the typical things you would do. The only difference was, for me, they put electrodes all over my head, and they asked me all these weird questions, and they measured my brain waves. And this is back in the late 1970s. And when I came out of that room and everything, my dad was like, "Man, you took 2 hours longer than everybody else. What did they do to you in there?" And I'm like, "I don't know. They just put these wires on my head." So somewhere back then, I was part of some weird experiment. I'm just telling you right now. Because I made the connection just now, like, did they know that I drowned? I don't know. It's a weird thing. So I'm going to leave it at that, because I don't know much more, but it just triggered the memory. So I thought I'd share it. But anyway, anomaly. Well, I'm not going to call it an anomaly. The other thing that makes 3i Atlas interesting, and we talked a little bit about this, but see, this is the sad thing. When I was doing the podcast, and it was a lot of fun, by the way, it was just a week after like all this tragic stuff had happened here. And so I wasn't exactly on my A game. And I think you can tell that I'm really nervous, and that I'm not holding it as together as I am right now. So we missed out on a lot of stuff that we talked about. So this is going to so I totally recommend you watch it, because it's some really good stuff there. But I want to talk about the other things about 3i that were really interesting and get them out of the way. So here's the other one. The other thing that's interesting about 3i Atlas, that is unique to 3i Atlas, is the orbit. The comet followed a hyperbolic trajectory. So the eccentricity of this trajectory varies about 6.16, like a variance of 16% of error, confirming that it was from wherever it was coming from, it was heading towards the sun from the get-go. So wherever it came in on its trajectory, it was already heading for the sun, straight for it. And the path, by the way, was done at such a strange, non-gravitationally altered orbit that it almost points to artificial engineering. And it was also the idea that within this hyperbolic orbit, it could literally pass by every planet. It would be like if you went on a ride with your friend and he's like, I'm going to take you on a scenic ride where we get to see the mountains on the right, the river on the left. And as we go around here, it's sort of like, taking a ride to see stuff. It's very unusual because it was able to pass through Mars, Venus, Mercury, whip around the sun, picks up a little speed, comes over to get a good look at Earth, and then on its way out, it gets to stop by Jupiter. And the funny thing about that, by the way, is that when it stops at Jupiter, I say stops, I hope it does, but if it doesn't, or I should say, if it does stop at Jupiter, then we can kind of like rule the natural thing out the window. But what's interesting about the trajectory that it's on to Jupiter is that when it hits Jupiter, it's going to hit Jupiter at the exact spot that will make it not have gravitational pull from the sun, and it won't have gravitational pull from Jupiter. It's in a sweet spot. The chances of something having that trajectory just so that it can basically peruse the solar system and take a look at all the planets is very, very low probability of it being natural. Could it be a coincidence? Absolutely. But here's the thing. It has to do with mathematical probability. And the mathematical probability does not lend itself to the coincidence. It actually points much more towards artificial. And that's just math. It's just too many things at not adding up. Now, does that mean that it's little green men on board? Watch the podcast because we get into that and I talk about it a little bit. But the basics are, I don't think that there's lizard people on board, frozen, waiting to be awakened so they can like beam down to Earth and, a whole Star Wars thing happens. I don't think that at all. I don't. My speculation borders more on the scientific side on one end, and then on the unknown completely on the other, which is one, and I'll take the unknown weirdness first. It could be a plasma-based life form, something we've never encountered before. And that is sort of scary because it's like, wow, could there be life like that out there? I mean, of course, why not? Doesn't mean that everything doesn't have to evolve into humans and dinosaurs and birds. It could evolve into something that's very technically different. So it could be something different. Or what I'm leaning towards is something that was launched a long time ago. A probe that was launched a very long time ago to explore the galaxy. Sort of like the Star Trek mission. Find new life, report back. And we're not in any sort of danger because even if it were to send a signal back, it would take them millions of years to show up at our door. Maybe, unless you watch what is it? Three world problem? I don't know. I forgot what the name of that one is, but anyway, let's play a song. That's funny. So this one was done by, and it's funny because Steven is usually here. Steven Olaf is usually here, and I kept telling him, I'm going to play that one. And then I haven't done it. So he did this really awesome remix. This one's called The Extra Dub. And this is, the three body problem. I was thinking three world problem? No, that sounds like third world. Yes, three body problem. Because if you really think about that movie, or that one Netflix thing, what I found interesting about that is that we sent a signal in the show. I'm not giving anything away here. a signal is sent out and someone gets it, and then they decide, we're going to pay you a visit and we're taking over. And it was going to take many years for them to get here, but they were still coming. So sure, we could get a signal from someone that says, we're 1,000,000 light years away from you and we're coming. But it would be 1,000,000 years before we saw them. So it would be like a situation we would have to prepare for. But yeah, not in our lifetimes would we have to worry about it. So I don't think we have to worry about 3i Atlas beaming home and then, seeing alien invasions. I just think it's some sort of probe. Or something even weirder. But anyway, here we go. Let's play something. Ooh. Living in Oblivion. The extra dub master.
You can hide the pain, I can see it scroll on your empty face, and I feel the hurt, it's in the words you say, they make me want to scream out to the world, for taking life for granted, and I know you are by my side, when I turn to hear you cry. I am so afraid of living in oblivion. I am so afraid of living in oblivion. Am I so blind, with my eyes turned to a different time around? At the end of the day, when we both run down in a hole so heavy, tell me what you will, 'cause I've got to know the truth inside of you. Can you hear what I say when I hold you and you score the day? I am so afraid of living in oblivion. I am so afraid of living in oblivion. Living in oblivion. Living in
Ah, whoa. Had to switch to the black and white because my synth cam didn't want to go. Wait, sorry. Come on. Yeah, thank you. So, ooh, that was so. Maya had a great question. Nostoc, which is known as, what did you say it was called? Sorry, it's because it scrolls so fast that I can't read everything. It just, if you saw it, it's just like a crazy thing. Um. Ah, Steven, you were on the. I like it. So, um, uh, it's cyanobacteria that some believe did not originate on this planet. There we go. Yes, star jelly, absolutely. So this is what I was gonna talk about a little bit more of on the podcast, but we kind of like didn't get to that point. So obviously we could have gone for hours, and I can't do that right now. But so let me explain this, because this is something I was thinking about many times. In fact, I always thought that the most collective purpose that the human race could have, and this is why I like Elon, even though some people don't like Elon, but political reasons aside, I like the idea that we should become an interstellar species. And the reason why I think this is a good idea is because if some massive asteroid were to hit the Earth and blow us up and we're gone, period, just destroyed, then there would never be anything like it ever again. So to keep things in perspective and unique, I think that a very advanced civilization would create what I would call cedar probes. And these cedar probes would essentially be self-running machines that would find semi-dead worlds where there's nothing really living or growing. Let's take as an example, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, any of the moons. And what would happen is these cedar probes would determine that this is a good candidate for this type of bacterial life, and these will grow in a million years. This is where the next evolutionary step will take it. And from there, it either survives or it doesn't, but that's the perfect bacteria for that world. So it gets close, sends the bacteria in, bacteria is seeded, it goes on its merry way, and millions of years later, that planet will become a habitable world to that type of life. It'll be endemic to that type of life. And so if you have this seeding machine that basically goes from planet to planet trying to find, what works best here or what works best there, you would have a way of basically keeping life moving throughout the universe. I'm not saying that humans have to do it. Any high level, for the lack of a better word, altruistic, hyper-developed civilization would probably want to keep germinating and seeding life. For anyone who's ever done gardening, and I'm not by any means a green thumb person, but for anyone who's ever done gardening, there's a pleasure in, you get a little plant, and then, if you treat it right and you do all this stuff, suddenly you have 10 little plants, and you're like, wow, I made this. I have a pretty good garden going out there in the balcony. And without too much effort from me, because I'm terrible at it, I have several different plants growing out there. And so the idea would be to do the same. Basically, wherever you go where there's dead life, you drop off some seeds. So 3i Atlas could be such a machine that basically goes through each star system, does its turnaround around the planets, and then says, that's a good candidate, that's a good candidate, and that's a good candidate. Now, there's a horror movie version of that where basically certain civilizations decide, well, we don't want people that make war to come out and bring it out here. So Probe finds the people that are just doing war and then says, destroy, 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 start over. I know there's people out there that would probably think that's a good idea. I don't like that idea. I don't want to be dead. I want to live. So if I was going to give it a benevolent hand, I would say that that's what it was. That it is doing surveying work for dropping off seeds. And if it is such a thing, one of the gas giants or one of the moons on the gas giants that has water are pretty good candidates. So I'll make the prediction now. If 3i Atlas stops at Jupiter, that is the reason. So I don't think it's something we have to worry about because I'm pretty sure it picked up the biodiversity of life that we have here. And it's like, okay, that one we won't touch. It's sort of like the prime directive. We're not touching that world. That one we got to leave alone. But this other one that's dead and has nothing, but it has water, yeah, let's seed it. Who knows? Maybe the humans will find it useful. Maybe they'll help us out. It's like, wow, they look like they're getting a little bit overpopulated. Maybe we could terraform Mars for them. So you don't know. We don't really know. That's the beauty of it. It's nice to have certain things that are unknown. That's all I'm saying. Yes, Mai says, just the textural experience of getting your hands into a good quality soil. Yeah, sort of, because I have to replant all of them now. But although, another story, another day. But anyway, so you understand where this is going. So yeah, so that was one of them. And I think someone mentioned it earlier, the high level of nickel, right? That's only something that you find on Earth, meaning manufactured. Now, of course, NASA is trying to walk that back and say, well, we could be wrong. There could be nickel in pure form out there that we just haven't discovered, but it doesn't seem likely. Nickel, high concentration of nickel without iron is basically manufactured product. So there's that. But I personally have tracked about 50 anomalies now. And so it leads me to believe that if I had to give it a purpose, I would say that its purpose is study and seeding. So though it would be one of those two things, I don't think it's something that we have to worry about. I'm sure they have pinged it. We're not going to know that they pinged it, but I'm pretty sure they've sent some sort of signal to it. Although I don't know if anyone can pick up signals that are sent and come back, but I'm pretty sure they've done it. The reason that they're so terrified of this thing being artificial is because it throws a lot of our universe or a lot of our galaxy into our understanding of the galaxy, I should say. It goes to show how little we know about anything outside of our world. And to some people, that is really scary. Exactly. Sunny Me Love says, high level of nickel is just pure silver. Exactly. So, so maybe we have a nice silver living thing out there. Who knows? Who knows? But it is the closest to us right now. And I think it'll get a little closer before it starts heading out to Jupiter. So right now it's snapping all its pictures of us for the folks back home. And if you got the Radiohead reference there, that's good. If you didn't, I just made one. So, but yeah, so there's a lot of things that are interesting about this particular object. And, you know, we got into that on the podcast. So, like I said, make sure you listen to that. But anyway, let's play a song. And when we come back, I'll actually do it while we're, yeah. Enough said. I'll play a song and I'll post the link to the NFT that was released at 7:30. How's that? So this is Transitions. The DVR edit. It's a little different, this one. transitions, the DVR mix. Aw, thank you. Yeah, it's one of the nice ones. So, wow, how the time flies. It's already, wow, 9:30. So, going back to the anomalies, again, I'm not listing the crazy, crazy anomalies, but just the ones that make the most sense here. So, the other thing about 3i Atlas is that it passed very close to Mars on October 3rd, and it approaches Earth at 1.8 today, astronomical units. And so far, it's not a threat, obviously. But these calculated near misses, because that's considered very close to habitable zone planets, might suggest artificial navigation, as if the probe was programmed to slingshot past the key worlds for reconnaissance and or for seeding. So, again, odd. And this is a wild one. This happened today. So today, during its closest Earth approach, a strange 25 hertz energy burst was detected in the Earth Schumann resonances, coinciding precisely with the perigee, meaning as it came close, we got hit with a resonance. The narrow frequency band signal was is rare and isolated, and it could indicate artificial transmission. Maybe it's some sort of beacon or interaction with the electromagnetic field for data relay, meaning it's like when something bounces a signal and then based off that signal gets data back. So I find that very interesting. And that happened today. So it has not disappointed in the amount of crazy anomalies. And like I said, last I had checked, I believe it was 54, if memory serves me right, that I have cataloged so far. And that's a lot for a coincidence. That's a lot. So if you have a telescope, point it, try to find it, get it. If I ever, what's funny? I used to have a telescope and I used to have it on top of my roof. Man. Yes. More like all above and so below. Exactly. Sending me love says. Aw, that's nice. So yeah. So for me, that's why I find it so interesting. But the sad thing is, whatever studies they are doing on it, because believe me, they're getting good photographs of it, and they're getting they're doing some serious studying of this thing, whether we agree that that's happening or not, they're doing it. So what's sad to me is that we may never know, because now, of course, it's heading away. Now, the only thing that could change this is if it stops. If it stops here, or if it stops at Jupiter, then we will know what we're dealing with. Sage says on YouTube, that maybe it's inviting us to a party. Indeed, I'd go. I would definitely go to that party. Anyway, I digressed ahead of time there. So no need to panic, but I would encourage people to listen to the podcast I was on, get a good laugh out of it, but also look into it. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, but this is the age, right, of disclosure. I mean, this is where we're at. So is it that surprising at this point? So that's one side. So let's play a song. I think we only have 2. We're kind of cutting it close. We could talk a little bit more about it. So what was the other thing? Oh, so that was the other one. So here's another anomaly that I thought we could talk about. So the rotation in the jets. This is another strange one. So the comet has a rotation period of 15 to 16 hours with a periodic oscillating jets that suggest a wobbling motion. And it has an asymmetric coma. So it does have a coma, but it's an asymmetric coma with a fan-shaped dust emissions. The controlled repetitive behavior of the jets hint at some sort of stabilization system. Think of thrusters on a probe adjusting its orientation for scanning or communicating during flyby. It's doing that. So that is odd. That is an odd thing. It's not like we can say, oh, but all of them do that. You know. Sending me love on X says, we are at the very end of the year of disclosure. Yeah, because, and I'll say it like this, if they don't do it this year, I mean, we haven't been this close, I think, in a very long time. There's been times when we were close and then nothing happened. So I'm not holding my breath, but I think what I'm going to do as I get older, yes, I think I'm going to explore more. So I think I'm going to be going on quests. So, you know, if they won't show up on disclosure, I will have to find them. So I think that's where I'm headed. But that's where my mind is at right now. But I digress. Scanning us without our consent. Well, government does that. I kid you not. I swear, I think our phones read our minds. But I know, I'm nuts. So let's play a song. This is, wait, are we down to one song? Oh, no, we have two left. Ooh, I forgot. Ooh, there's a long one in there too. All right, so I'm going to play this one, and then when we come back, I'll do my last bit and then say Merry Christmas to all of you, because I don't think I'm going to be doing one next week, because obviously it's going to be right around that time. So I have no idea what's going to happen next week, so don't count on there being a stream. Just don't, because I think I may go into like whatever it is I do. But here you go. Nostalgia. This is the December Master of Nostalgia, because I was messing around with stuff, so it's a little different. But, okay. No. All right, here you go. Ah, how funny. That's funny. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. No, this one. It's funny because I made the other mix of this song with the intention that if I do it live, I want it to be, I don't know, whatever, a little more dancier or something. So that other remix was designed for live, and this one was going to be just for the album. But more recently, I've been listening to this one and going, no, this is the one I want to play live. So I may wind up doing some crazy thing where I take both and sort of, and that's going to be the live mix, because I tend to do that for the live shows. I'll take something and I'll mess it up a little bit. And I shouldn't say mess it up, but what I tend to do is, like, if I like one thing about a certain mix, I'll take bits of it and that'll go into the live version. Then if there's something I don't like about the mix, I'll take that out. So I think I would do this one live, but I would just make it a little longer in the end, just so that I could, like, the mix that just played is the album version, but this one is a mix that just is one of the mixes of the song that just happened to have a little bit more bass. That's all. But it does have a little, yeah, you're right. It's a little punchier. That's all. It's just a little bit more, that's all. This is how we describe stuff in the audio world. It's got girth. It's fat. I don't know. We're crazy. Crazy peoples. That's what we are. Crazy peoples. But anyway, so yeah. So what are you guys doing for Christmas? Just out of curiosity. And by the way, I got a nice card. This arrived today. Thank you, V Countess and Jake. I know Jake's listening, but thank you. Thank you for this, Jake. And they signed it. Very nice. So yes, I'll put that here in the studio. And but yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a quiet one on this side, but still, at least it's sort of coming up. I'm sort of feeling it. This is interesting. I wasn't feeling it before, but it's sort of coming slowly. Christmas always creeps up on me, which is a good thing, I guess. But chonky. Nice. So that was the other thing. So, like, on my Patreon, I decided that people could help reference stuff. So when I start getting into, like, new things and I start to remix and do more, I want to post certain things and, like, have people, like, evaluate, like, hey, how did it sound on your system? Because I find that interesting as I get older. And it's not just me getting older. It's anyone. As you get older, your ears, change and everything. I feel like my ears are actually getting better when it comes to the mixing side, but I could be delusional for all I know. So for all I know, everything sounds great, and then it's like, oh my God, what did you just do to us? So I thought it would be nice to share a few mixes that way, and then have people evaluate, like, too much bass, not enough bass. But usually you can tell. So this was one of those. I was, like, doing some experiments between some of the headphones and some of the mixing techniques. So I guess you could say that that's what I was trying to do. So yeah. But before I play the last song and all that stuff, because we might have to cut out a little early, but not too bad. We didn't get into the second topic. There was a dual topic, but we'll get that. We'll do that one next time, because that one's a little esoterically weird, and I don't think it fits with the 3-High Atlas thing at all. It sounded better in my head, but thinking about it now, I'm like, it's its own thing. So, but it had to do with frequencies. So if you listen to the podcast, you're going to hear me talk a lot about frequency tests I was doing way back when, and it was the early 2000s, and I had done some really crazy frequency tests to just see what the effects of certain frequencies are on the body. And I had tried like all these different things. And so what I found was that there were certain ones that can get you into a state that's really interesting. And so that got me into thinking about like sound healing and all that kind of stuff. Because even though people like to think that that's like pseudoscience, it really isn't. Everything vibrates. So if you're able to find the right, you know, oh, I love 432. I do. Are you kidding? 432 is amazing. I wish I could tune all, just because we're going to do nerd talk for like a minute. But Sunny Me Love says, just by default, go to 432. I love 432 hertz. Even as a tuning standard, I love it. The problem that I have is that I wish. So when you say you've tuned every one of them, how do you tune them? Because not all of them have that. Not all of them have the ability to tune to, 432. So it's a pain to have to because it's not just tuning down. You have to tune using like a tuning fork to get it. So it's a bit strange. I did a test with it once. So I know people are like, what are you talking about? So I'm going to talk stupid stuff right now. And I'm going to get stupid nerdy for the last 5 minutes. Sending Me Love. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And anyone who does digital recording knows that there's something known as aliasing that happens on certain frequencies when you mix or when you play instruments. And I found that if you take a digital synth and you're able to actually tune it to 432 hertz as the tuning standard, the aliasing goes away. Even in the computer, it goes away. You don't hear it anymore. It cleans it out. And I found that really interesting. There you go. Brian Spencer says low frequencies. The ones that can be physically felt are the best. If I can't feel the music, I'm not listening properly. I understand that 100%. Yeah, so it was those fools that changed all that and decided to use 440, which is like a terrible frequency. Do you know it's like the most terrible frequency they could have chosen for music as a tuning standard was 440. I'm not even kidding. And that's what we tune everything to. But yeah, so I went through this weird, crazy period of, tinfoil hat, for lack of a better word. But then I found out that it was true that the tuning standard was not only inharmonic, as Sunny Me Love says, it's also chaotic. It actually has a chaotic mathematical formula within it. And so every single instrument that you buy, every single piece of software, and even the electronic instruments you buy, they're automatically tuned to 440, it sucks. So I wish there was a tuning standard that you could apply at DAW level. That would be like the ultimate DAW. You just say, what's your tuning standard? And you say 432, and then everything you're doing is in 432. I would just freaking love, that would be worth a $200 upgrade. Are you listening, Ableton? That would be worth a $200 upgrade for me. I'm not joking. I would, yeah, oh no, I know. Everything is tuned to 440, but it sucks. It literally sucks. It sucks the life out of music, especially, first of all, but there could be some deep level plugins that might be able to do it. But yeah, I've tried to do it on a, You know, maybe on the next album, I'll try extra hard to get every single instrument to conform. I tried it in other ways by doing like pitch changes and weird things like that, but it doesn't really work. So, but if you have a method, shoot me a DM with the method that you use on the non-analog stuff, and then, you know, I don't know. I don't know, Wendy. But yeah, 440 is like the most horriblest tuning standard that we could have ever come up with. And we didn't need to. We should have stuck with 4. And by the way, there are others, not just 432, but also 444. Fantastic. Yep, songs in 440 make the world more nervous and chaotic and warlike. 432 is the natural frequency. It's true. It's true. It's not pseudoscience. It makes us feel okay. Anyway, I'm going to play the last song. Apropos for tonight's topic. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves and it wasn't too boring. Have a final sip of your drink. I want you all to have a really good Christmas. Hug your families. You know, enjoy each other's company. I know sometimes it's hard, but do it. Enjoy your family meals. Think about all the wonderful things you want for the next year that's coming. And yeah, probably on the very next stream, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about goals and things that'll bring us into the next level for next year. I want y'all to have a really... Did I just say y'all? I want all of you... That's funny. I want all of you to have a great, great Christmas. And that's it. Bless you all. I'm going to play the last song and then I'm out of here. I'll turn on the visuals. And this is the last song. Spaced.
Have you heard your reflection and have you listened? As you swim in the ocean, the water it glistens. All the silly games
I had the mic on the whole time. Nice. Well, good night. I will see you all on the next one. Have a very good holiday, Merry Christmas, or however you celebrate. Be awesome. Stay awesome. And yes, 7 and 11.
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?
My fingers